Today's lesson is preparing for a trip. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be traveling. Of course, it's March right now, and many people are probably preparing for their summer trips. And if you want to prepare early, well, you might want to consider getting a new suitcase because your old one may be kind of crappy and it's kind of falling apart. So it's time to buy a new one.
That's a good bit of advice. Suitcases, of course, get banged around even on the shortest trip. And if you're ever traveling by plane, your suitcase can come out of the airplane looking very different from how it went in. People get suitcases that get scratches, things like that. So it's always good to get a new one. And of course, if you're like me, you always lose the little keys that you lock the suitcase with on the first trip. So it's also maybe a good idea for safety to get yourself a good suitcase because, yeah, we're heading into travel season. Gosh, even tomb sweeping is coming up in a very short time. That'll maybe be the first time since the winter that people have started to hit the road. So let's prepare for a trip with Dylan as he goes suitcase shopping. Preparing for a trip. Suitcase shopping. Dylan enters a luggage store and approaches a store clerk. Hi there, I need a new carry-on for an upcoming trip. My old one just fell apart on my last trip.
I'd be happy to help. Are you looking for something specific?
Well, I certainly want something that complies with the size and weight limits for most airlines. I don't want any trouble at the check-in counter.
Absolutely. In that case, I'd recommend this model here. It fits the standard carry-on dimensions and has a lightweight yet sturdy build. The wheels are highly durable and can swivel for easy maneuvering.
That sounds good. Does it have any security features?
This one has a TSA-approved combination lock for added security. Plus, the internal compartments help keep things organized during your travels.
Perfect. What about the warranty?
It comes with a 5-year warranty for any manufacturing defects.
Well, it looks great. How much is it?
We're running a special offer at the moment, so it's only 3,500 NT dollars.
I'll take it then. Thank you so much for your help.
大家好，第一部分首先看到单字 carry on， 这个名词的意思是登机的随身行李或是手提行李。例如 Most airlines allow just one carry-on per passenger. 大多数的航空公司只允许每位乘客携带一件随身行李。或者 In addition to a suitcase, Josh also brought a carry-on on his business trip. 除了一个行李箱之外 Josh 这次出差还带了一个手提行李。接下来是形容词 upcoming， 它指的是即将到来的或是即将发生的。例如 Carla gave her husband several hints about their upcoming wedding anniversary. Carla 多次暗示她丈夫他们的结婚纪念日快到了。或者 The band is scheduled to play several upcoming music festivals. 那个乐团排定行程要在接下来几个音乐节演出。接着看到单字 comply， 这个动词有遵守、服从规定、命令等的意思。举例来说 People who refuse to comply with the rules will not be allowed to work at the company. 拒绝遵守规定的人无法在这间公司工作。下一个是 sturdy， 它是形容词，表示结实的、牢固的或是坚定的。例如 The table is sturdy because it is made out of oak. 这张桌子很坚固，因为它是用橡木做的。再举一个例子 Terry's dog isn't the fastest in the world, but it has a very sturdy build. Terry 的狗虽然不是世界上跑最快的，但是它的体型相当健壮。紧接着一样介绍形容词 durable， 它是耐用的或是持久的意思。可以说 Dave prefers durable products that don't break easily. Dave 比较喜欢不会轻易坏掉又耐用的产品。也可以说This company makes the most reliable, durable watches at a reasonable price. 这间公司以合理的价格制造最耐用、坚固的手表。接着看到名词 warranty， 它的意思是商品的保固或是保证书。例如 My refrigerator broke last week, but luckily it's still under warranty. 我的冰箱上周坏掉了，但幸运的是它仍在保固期内。或是Make sure the store offers warranty before you buy any home appliance. 在你购买任何家电前，务必确保商店会提供保固服务。 最后看到单字 defect， 这个名词指的是瑕疵、缺陷或是毛病。例如 I was able to get the shirt at half price because it has a few minor defects. 我能够以半价买到这件衬衫是因为它有一些小瑕疵。再看一个例子 I took the laptop back to the store as it had several serious defects. 我把笔记型电脑带回到店里，因为它有几个严重的问题。
Okay, so again, Dylan goes to a luggage store and he talks to a store clerk. I should mention that luggage is a non-count noun. How much luggage do you have? But a suitcase is a countable noun. It's kind of confusing there, but a suitcase is a single item. Luggage just refers to all sorts of items together. Now, Dylan begins the conversation. He says, Hi there. I need a new carry-on for an upcoming trip. My old one just fell apart on my last trip. So a carry-on is a piece of luggage or a suitcase or whatever that you can carry on the plane with you. You don't have to check it because it's small enough to fit in those overhead compartments. And this is for an upcoming trip, something that's going to happen in the near future.
All right, that's a good idea. His old one fell apart on his last trip. I guess it was already old at that point and it started to kind of come to pieces. His socks fell out and then his underwear fell out on the floor of the airport. It was all very, very embarrassing. So it's definitely time for a new suitcase. He had to end his trip last time carrying his clothes around in a 7-Eleven bag.
Oh,
and
no.
it was just so embarrassing. Anyway, so the clerk says, I'd be happy to help. Sure, of course. You want a new suitcase? We sell suitcases. And we can tell you all about them. Are you looking for something specific? Says the clerk. So this clerk knows that Dylan wants a smaller suitcase. It's a carry-on, one that you will actually bring into the plane with you, so not a huge suitcase. But, you know, what kind of thing do you use it for? Is it for executive business travel? Is it something you want to maybe carry on your back because you go hiking also? That kind of thing. And Dylan says, well, I certainly want something that complies with the size and weight limits for most airlines. Wise man, Dylan, just because that's a cool-looking suitcase that seems perfect, if it doesn't comply with the airline's rules, you're not getting on the plane or only by paying extra. To comply is basically to follow the rules or to work within the rules. If you don't break the rules, you are complying with the rules. If you don't comply with the rules of the road, the police will pull you over and give you a ticket and you'll be in some trouble. So to comply with is basically to follow or work within the rules. He says, I don't want any trouble at the check-in counter. No one does, Dylan. The check-in counter is the first place you will stop as you're beginning your journey by plane. You get out of the taxi at the airport, you walk into the airport, and then that first place where you show your passport, get your ticket, they take your big suitcase to put it under the plane. That's the check-in counter. A counter is just a raised working surface that you might find in a store where you put your things when you're buying them, in your kitchen, where you're cutting your vegetables. It's not low, it's not a table, you don't sit down, you stand at a counter, and usually it's a small but very useful working space for people who don't have time to sit.
Okay, so Dylan has told the clerk what he's looking for. He's being very specific. And the clerk says, absolutely, I totally understand. In that case, in order to comply with your request, I'd recommend this model here. It fits the standard carry-on dimensions and has a lightweight yet sturdy build. Okay, so dimensions are basically just measurements in terms of width, height, and depth. And if you go to the airport and you check in and you want to have a carry-on, well, it has to meet these requirements for those dimensions. They oftentimes have a little rack there or a little case or whatever you want to call it, where you can actually put your carry-on inside of it. And then that will determine whether your carry-on meets the requirements, whether it complies with those dimensions. And indeed, he wants this particular suitcase to fit those dimensions, and that's what the clerk recommends. This particular model will meet those requirements for those dimensions. And also it has this lightweight and sturdy build. If something's lightweight, it does not weigh a lot. It's not very heavy. And if something's sturdy, it does not break easily. And the build here just refers to how it's constructed. So it's lightweight, it's sturdy, it'll be easy to carry, but it will take a licking and keep on working.
There you go. So light but tough. And the build is basically the design, how the suitcase is put together. The wheels also are highly durable. The wheels are highly durable and can swivel for easy maneuvering. That's a good thing. That's also a part of the sturdy build of this suitcase is that the wheels are sturdy or durable. If something is durable, it's like sturdy. It means tough. It means long-lasting. It means they won't break on your first trip. If we're talking about the tires on a large dump truck, those are pretty sturdy and durable. They last a long time. It's not like a race car where you have to change the tires every 20 minutes. The tires on a big truck or a bus or something like that working on city streets will be built to last a long time. And if it's built to last a long time, it's durable, like a good leather jacket or something like that. And these wheels not only are tough or durable, they can swivel, they can spin or turn for easy maneuvering. So you won't get that one wheel that's stuck. No, this is very sturdy and it drives very well. It maneuvers or moves around obstacles very efficiently. Dylan says that sounds good. All right, so the build of it, the design of it, it's durable, it's sturdy. That all sounds good. Does it have any security features? Because yes, locking your suitcase and keeping your stuff inside it safe is also something that travelers worry about. So is it safe?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the clerk says this one has a TSA-approved combination lock for added security. So here, TSA just refers to the Transportation Security Administration in the United States. So if you're traveling there, you need to be aware of these regulations. Here it has the approved combination lock for added security. A combination lock is a lock that does not use keys. It uses numbers, and you combine them in certain ways. It can be one where you turn a dial left and right, or it can be simply one where you set 4 numbers, or maybe 3 numbers or 4, whatever the case may be. And you set that combination, and then you can lock it. Only you know the combination, and therefore nobody else should be able to open your suitcase.
That sounds great. So it won't be easy for thieves to get in. But I guess if the government wants to look inside, the customs inspectors, that TSA-approved lock will let them get in, but not the bad guys. Plus, the internal compartments help keep things organized during your travels. That's always handy. These internal compartments, it could be pockets on the inside or just those little walls, those little dividers that stop your shoes from sliding around and crushing your suit or things like that. You can keep things organized and things won't shift or sort of fly around inside the suitcase as it makes its journey to the airplane and back. Dylan says, perfect. Oh, that sounds good. What about the warranty? What about long-lasting life and a warranty or a guarantee that my suitcase won't fall apart in a year or so? A warranty is basically a promise from a manufacturer that something is good quality, and if it isn't, they will replace it or fix it for you for free for a certain period of time. So in other words, what kind of warranty or guarantee do I have that causes me to not worry if there's a problem in the future?
Well, the clerk answers Dylan's question. The clerk says it comes with a 5-year warranty for any manufacturing defects. So if you discover that there's something that is wrong with the suitcase because of its manufacturing, then you can get it replaced or get your money back or whatever. They will not help you if you destroy your suitcase yourself, if you accidentally put it under a steamroller or something like that. They're not going to help you out there. It's only going to cover manufacturing defects. A defect is kind of a flaw, a problem that they didn't notice when they made the suitcase. And manufacturing, of course, refers to when you actually build something or make something in a factory.
So if the build isn't so sturdy or the wheels aren't so durable, they will fix it. But yes, if you throw it into a river, they're not going to buy you a new suitcase. That's your own fault. Dylan says, well, it looks great. How much is it? So I think he's almost there, almost ready to buy. He just wants to know the exact final price. The clerk says we're running a special offer at the moment. Woohoo! So it's only $3,500 NT. Very, very very cool. He might have gotten a 15-20% discount, something like that, so a good time to be shopping for a suitcase, apparently. And Dylan is even more convinced now that this is the right bag for him. I'll take it then, he says. Thank you so much for your help. And off he goes to pay for his suitcase, take it home, fill it with his stuff, and go off on another adventure.
Okay, let's move on to the next conversation. It's all about packing for departure as Dylan is preparing to go to Costa Rica. Let's listen.
Packing for departure. Dylan's sister Ella enters his room before he leaves for the airport. Hey, bro, ready for your big trip to Costa Rica?
Just about. Packing's almost done. I just need to double-check everything.
Want me to give you a hand? I'm a pro at this.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've got the essentials, clothes, toiletries, electronics, and my travel documents.
Don't forget your adapter for those electronics.
Oh, thanks. The adapter nearly slipped my mind. Anything else?
You might want a light jacket if it's chilly on the plane.
You're right. And maybe I should also pack a travel pillow for the long flight. Thanks a million, sis.
No problem. Have an amazing trip.
Will do. Thanks again for everything.
Okay, so we're packing for departure. Departure, of course, is when you leave, and when you arrive, that's called an arrival. So if you go to the airport, you'll see the board with the information. Arrivals, planes that are coming in, and departures, planes that are leaving. And Dylan's sister Ella enters his room before he leaves for the airport. Of course, if you want to travel someplace, you've got to go to the airport first.
All right, so Ella is talking to him as he's packing his bag, getting ready for his trip, and she says, hey, bro, ready for your big trip to Costa Rica? Hey, bro, hey, brother, hey, man, hey, pal, hey, buddy, hey, guga, or DD. That's kind of what she's saying here. Ready for your big trip to Costa Rica. You know, brothers and sisters sometimes have little nicknames, little friendly names for each other. She calls him bro. He might call her sis for sister. So, yeah, are you ready for your trip? How's it going? Getting everything prepared? Dylan says just about. That's like almost ready. He's 90% there. It's just a few more things to do. He details where he's at. Packing's almost done, so he's almost finished packing. I just need to double check everything. Sounds like a wise and careful traveler. He wants to double check. That's to verify things. You know, make sure, did I actually put the toothpaste in there? Did I actually bring enough socks? Did I actually put my passport in my bag? That kind of thing.
Right, he needs to double check everything to make sure he hasn't forgotten anything. And Ella says, want me to give you a hand? Do you want me to help you? I'm a pro at this. If you're a pro at something, you're really good at something. Pro is short for professional, but if you're a pro, that just means you're really good at something. And Dylan says, yeah, that'd be great. That would be wonderful. I've got the essentials. I've got the things I need. Clothes, toiletries, electronics, and my travel documents. So he's pretty much sure he's packed everything. And Ella says, well, don't forget your adapter for those electronics. So, of course, electricity is different in different countries. You need to do some research ahead of time to find out exactly what kind of electricity they use there. And you need to buy some sort of adapter so that you don't ruin your phone if you try to charge it using the local electricity.
And Dylan says, oh, thanks, because just like me, he forgot his adapter. That's one of those things I always forget. She says, the adapter nearly slipped my mind. If something slips your mind, you forget about it. It was in your mind, and then it's like it slipped out. Somehow it escaped your mind, the idea, this thought, this important fact. You've forgotten it, basically. The adapter nearly slipped my mind. Anything else? Do you have any other good suggestions? Any other thing that I should think about? And Ella says, so she's thinking the adapter was her best one. So she's thinking of another thing he might have forgotten. You might want a light jacket if it's chilly on the plane. Ooh, another good tip. Often in Taiwan, and with our weather here, when you're going to the airport, it's hot. But once you get on that plane after a few hours of flying up at minus 40 degrees at 30,000 feet, the plane can get a little chilly, a little cold. So you'll have a blanket on the plane, but you also might want want to bring a jacket or a sweater in your bag for yourself, even if you're flying from a very warm part of the world.
Right, so Dylan says you're right. He has this experience. Of course, flying can be quite chilly, even if you're going to a tropical place like Costa Rica. He goes on to say, and maybe I should also pack a travel pillow for the long flight, which is that thing that wraps around your neck, and if you're riding in economy class, it might help you sleep on the plane. It never works for me. I can't use those things. They're always uncomfortable. And then Ella grabs a jacket and a travel pillow from Dylan's closet and hands them to him. And Dylan says, oh, thanks a million, sis. That's one way of thanking somebody. To thank them a lot. Thanks a million. Thanks tons. Thanks loads. You could say that as well.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks a bunch, indeed. And Ella says, no problem. Have an amazing trip. I wish you to have an amazing, fantastic trip to Costa Rica. I think he's going to go check out those national parks and all those tropical areas and things like that. I think we talked about Costa Rica before.
We did.
On our program. And Dylan says, will do. I will do that. I will certainly have an amazing trip. Thanks again for everything. And now it looks like Dylan is ready for his trip overseas. Hopefully he has not forgotten anything. And we wish him the best of luck on his trip. And hopefully he will have the trip of a lifetime. We're at the end of our explanation for today. Let's listen now to Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。在课文第一部分的对话里， Dylan 想要找符合大多数航空公司尺寸和重量限制的行李箱，因为他不想在登机报到柜台遇到任何麻烦。那行李箱专卖店的店员就说 Absolutely. In that case, I'd recommend this model here. 当然，这样的话我会推荐这里的这一款。好，这边我们要介绍的是 in that case 这个用语，它表示在那种情况下，既然如此，假如是那样的话，那它通常会摆在句首，意思会跟 if that's the case 或是 that being the case 差不多。假设朋友说，如果我们晚一点离开就会碰到塞车，那这时候可以回答 in that case, we'd better leave early。既然如此，那我们最好早一点离开。好，那补充两个跟 case 有关的用法。第一个补充的是 in any case， 字面意思是在任何情况下，它是指无论如何，不管怎样。例如 I'm not sure how long the meeting will take. In any case, I'll call you once it's over. 我不确定会议会开多久，那不管怎么样，会议一结束，我就会打电话给你的。第二个补充的是 in somebody's case 或者是 in something's case， 也可以写作 in the case of 加名词。那这个用语是表达以什么什么的例子或情况来说，那 case 在这边就有情况案例的意思。举例来说Berries are good for your health. In the case of blueberries, they can help lower blood pressure. 莓果对健康有益。那以蓝莓为例，它可以帮助降低血压。在课文第二部分的对话里 Dylan 行李收拾的差不多了，妹妹 Ella 帮他一起检查行李。那么在 Ella 的提醒下，他才想到说自己差点就忘记转接头了，所以这时候 Dylan 说 The adapter nearly slipped my mind。 好，那我们来学一下动词 slip， 它原本有滑过或是溜走的意思。Something slip one's mind， 字面意思是某件事从某人的心里溜走了，那是用来表达说某人忘记某事了，其中的 mind 也可以换成 memory。 假设我们说 It just slipped my mind 或者是 It just slipped my memory， 那就可以表达我忘了。好，那顺便补充跟 slip 有关的用语 Slip through one's fingers，从某人手指中溜走，那就是用来表达错失、错过。例如 Don't let the opportunity slip through your fingers， 这就是提醒对方说别坐失良机，别让这个机会溜走了。那如果我们说 slip through the net， 从网中滑落、滑出，那就表示漏网、被漏掉的意思咯。好，那以上今天重点整理，我们回顾今天单字吧。
Comply。Let's make sure that the report complies with the instructions given by the teacher. Counter. Several customers were lined up at the coffee shop's counter to place their orders. Dimension. The architect carefully considered every dimension of the building in creating its design. Sturdy. My oak desk is so sturdy that it should last for many years to come. Durable. These boots are made of highly durable materials, so they're perfect for outdoor adventures. Manufacture. The company will manufacture a new line of electric cars starting next year. Departure. Our departure this morning was delayed due to bad weather conditions.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.